Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com. Nevada has always been a land of extremes, a desert state, dry and barren to the casual traveler, yet rich beneath the surface with secrets that have changed the fate of nations. At the dawn of the 1980s, gold production in the United States had nearly disappeared. The old mining camps were ghost towns, the gold rushes just distant memories. And yet, within just 2 decades, America would find itself ranked second in the entire world, behind only the legendary mines of South Africa. How did this happen? The answer is Nevada. Since 1990, the silver state has given up more than 45 million ounces of gold, worth nearly $18 billion. Think about that. One state producing more wealth than almost any country on Earth. In fact, Nevada alone now ranks 3rd worldwide in gold output. The modern prospector, though, doesn't swing a pick or swirl a pan in a cold mountain stream. Instead, they wield satellite images, supercomputers, and master's degrees from the finest schools of geology and mining. But even with all this science, the lure is the same as it was in 1849, the chance to strike it rich. Take geologist Pat Cavanaugh, for example. With nothing more than a $20,000 grubstake and his knowledge of the land, he and his partner discovered the South Pipeline Field near Battle Mountain. In no time, they were millionaires. The strike itself proved reserves of more than 2.6 million ounces, over $1 billion in gold. The impact of this boom reshaped Nevada. Elko, once a sleepy town of fewer than 9,000, ballooned to more than 40,000 residents. Companies lured workers to the middle of nowhere with subsidized housing and wages nearly twice the state average. Gold fever once again gripped the desert. And as 4 principal districts, Battle Mountain, Getchell, the Carlin Trend, and the Independence Range, came alive, towns like Winnemucca, Eureka, and Elko thrived. But this modern prosperity rests on older, darker tales. Because long before geologists and hardhats found billion-dollar strikes, Nevada's deserts echoed with the stories of lost caches, outlaw hordes, and mysteries still waiting beneath the sand. One story begins, oddly enough, with a can of peaches. It was 1930 on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. A weather-beaten Paiute man, about 50 years old, walked into a grocery store. He placed a can of peaches on the counter and paid with a gleaming $20 gold piece. What seemed ordinary at first turned extraordinary when the coin was identified as loot from a robbery committed a full century earlier. Back in 1830, a Paiute warrior ambushed a mail carrier near El Dorado, stealing $45,000 in gold and murdering the man in cold blood. Outraged settlers demanded justice, and the tribe was forced to act. They chose the robber's own brother, Avote, to hunt him down. With a heavy heart, Avote accepted. He disappeared into the desert, only to return days later with his brother's lifeless body, the murdered carrier's gun belt, pistol, and $400 in gold. The rest of the treasure was never seen again. But the real story lay in what happened next. Avote could not live with what he had done. The weight of fratricide crushed him. He drank heavily, withdrew from his people, and by 1897 erupted in a violent rampage, killing half a dozen whites before he himself was hunted down and slain. 13 years later, in 1910, another man took up his mantle. His name was Quejo, and he idolized Avote. He launched a bloody one-man war that some say claimed 23 lives. Despite one of the largest manhunts in Nevada's history, Quejo vanished like smoke in the wind. And yet he was not gone. In 1930, the same renegade strolled into Las Vegas and bought peaches with gold linked to that century-old robbery. A decade later, his mummified body was found in a cave up the Colorado River. But the gold? Still missing. Legend has it that Avote once told Quejo where the mail carrier's loot was buried, somewhere near the McCulloch Range. Most researchers believe Quejo recovered it, only to rehide it. But where? That answer remains buried beneath the desert floor. And if that tale seems incredible, Nevada has more. Consider the day Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, and Bill Carver robbed the First National Bank of Winnemucca. According to Pinkerton reports, the outlaws fled with over $30,000 in gold coins, plus a few thousand more in currency. The boys rode all that day, one Pinkerton informant noted, cashed their money, changed their clothes, and separated, each going his own direction. The trail led eastward alongside the railroad tracks, then veered north toward Squaw Valley. Somewhere along that route, Cassidy's gang hid their treasure. Whether it was ever recovered is a question no one has answered. Like so many outlaw stories, it leaves only a whisper, a hint that fortune still lies waiting in Nevada's deserts. But not all treasures were stolen. Some were found by chance and then inexplicably abandoned. Take John A. Snowshoe Thompson, a man remembered as the mail carrier of the Sierra Nevada. Born in Norway, Thompson built his own skis and carried mail across the high passes, often in the dead of winter, saving stranded travelers along the way. One day, while hauling mail, he stumbled upon a rich gold ledge. He even carried ore samples back home and told his wife he could see the ledge from their window in Diamond Valley. By most accounts, that would place it somewhere between Horseshoe Canyon and Hawkins Peak. And yet Thompson never minded, never staked a claim, never told anyone the exact location. He simply let it be. Why? That remains a mystery. Some say he had been soured by earlier failures in the California diggings. Others suggest he simply wasn't interested in personal gain. He certainly wasn't a drunk, a liar, or a dreamer. He was respected, upright, and dedicated to service. In fact, he waited 12 full years before even asking to be paid for his mail work. When pneumonia struck him down in 1876, the secret of the gold ledge died with him. If it still lies untouched, then Snowshoe's lost ledge may be one of Nevada's purest treasures, hidden not by crime or violence, but by choice. As the decades rolled on, new figures added their names to Nevada's treasure lore. By the Great Depression, the landscape had shifted from outlaws on horseback to gangsters with machine guns. One such man was Alvin Karpis, infamous member of the Barker Karpis gang. In his autobiography, Karpis admitted that in his early days he robbed so many jewelry stores, he often told people his occupation was jewelry salesman. The problem was unloading the loot, so he buried it instead. In Oklahoma, one such cache was later dug up and used as a bribe to dodge prison time. But other stashes? They were never found. Even after he graduated to bank robberies and kidnappings, Karpis kept the habit of burying loot to let the heat die down. On one occasion, he nearly ruined $100,000 when the leather sack he buried leaked during a damp spell. And in 1932, after a disastrous Minneapolis robbery that left 2 police officers dead, Karpis and the Barker family fled west, straight to Reno, Nevada. There, they rented a house, hiding out while the nation seethed over their crime. Karpis would later spend 33 years in prison. The Barkers would die in a bloody shootout, and yet many researchers believe caches of their loot still lie undiscovered. If the location of that Reno hideout could ever be pinpointed, it might well conceal the forgotten fortune of one of America's most notorious gangs. From billion-dollar modern mines to ancient outlaw hordes, from Snowshoe Thompson's untapped ledge to Alvin Karpis's gangster caches, Nevada is far more than just desert. It is a land of gold, sometimes claimed, often lost, and always waiting to be found. And for treasure hunters, it remains one of the greatest frontiers of them all. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to read the original article or purchase the magazine from which it was taken, please check out our website, truetalesofburiedtreasure.com.